Michael came to town in '83. I was standing right in front of his, like across the street, of course, but I was right directly across from his limo window. First time seeing him. Okay, now fast forward to two, no, not 2000, 1998. I was 21 years old.
21.
At this time, I did not know he was in town. He didn't tell nobody he was in town. And see, that's the thing about Michael's. Michael had the ability, if he wanted to, he could slip into your town and you not know about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, number one. Number two, I just got a job with Hudson's Shoes. Hudson's, who is now Macy's. But back when it was Hudson's, I worked for the shoe department. I just had an interview with them. And I remember walking through the mall thinking, wow, it was eerily quiet. There was nobody in that mall. And I'm like, dang, what's going on? Had I made a turn, down just another, corridor or part of the mall, I would have ran into Michael Jackson. At the mall. Oh boy. Can you hear me? Because you're freezing. There you go. You're freezing again. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just freezing a bit.
Okay, so yeah, Michael has this record store called Sam Goody. And I don't know if there's any more Sam Goodies out anymore, but it was one called Sam Goody. He was at this store all this time. I did not know we were in the same mall. Had no idea.
Wow, that's crazy.
No idea. Okay. Second, okay. He went to the what is it? He went to the Renaissance Center, which is now the GM headquarters in Detroit. The iconic building that got like 3 towers. It's like one big tower, too. Yeah, so he went there. It was a young lady who was a friend of the family at the time. She knew I was a huge fan, and she called my dad and said, "Get Kimberly down here now. Michael is down. Get her down here." But at that time, it just seemed like everything was just freaking working against me. It's a little bit how this life is going. Just everything just seemed like it just wasn't working out right.
Yeah.
So I did this, I had already did this portrait of Michael. It was Michael in 4 phases of his career. And they all was like, they had their arms around each other. So it looked like it was like all of them was in one place, right?
Do you still have it?
No, he has it.
Oh.
So I'm hello? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm freaking out. I'm trying to get in touch with the gentleman who he's like family to the Jackson family. He was like family. He's passed on now. But he was like family to the Jacksons, anytime they came into town from, the age of when Michael was 9 years old, all the way up into adulthood. If they came into Michigan, they, he rode with their entourage.
Right.
So I'm trying to call him. It seemed like he wasn't picking up his phone. I remember I was a wreck. So my good, young lady who I used to be friends with, she was like a prayer partner with me. And, we just started praying and, we were putting it in God's hand. Like, look, Lord, please, block anything that is trying to block, this opportunity from having. So, okay. The next day, I remember I had nothing to wear. My stepmother had this crazy, sexy t-shirt, crazy, sexy, cool TLC t-shirt.
Right.
And she let me wear it. And what else? I remember putting a little makeup on. Wasn't much. If had I known who I was gonna see that day, I would have beat my face to the guards. But you know, hey, how they say less is more, you know. So I put my makeup on and you know, I took my picture, had my picture, caught the bus. I wasn't driving then. I'm driving now, but then I wasn't driving.
And so this is when you were 21.
So I caught the bus downtown to my friend's house. And I remember it just seemed like, you know, when God is getting ready to bless you, it seemed like the devil acts a monkey fool. Because it was like a big puddle of water, and this car purposely drove through this water to splash me. I would never forget. I just felt like, damn, what next?
Right,
So I'm getting over to my friend's house, who drove at the time, and she drove me to the Rent Center. We call it Renaissance Center, which is now the GM headquarters. And I remember we got there. It was in the tower that they had a movie theater in, right? And that's the tower that Don Barton, who was a Detroit businessman, who Michael was trying to get a casino in Detroit with. So I remember his office was in that tower, you know, because that's where they told us to go. We went there, and it was, again, eerily quiet. There was, like, you could hear a rat pissing on cotton. I was thinking, damn, what is going on? I'm like, what's up with Detroit?
Like, is it
why is everything so?
Like, what's going on here?
Look, I'm like, why is everything so damn quiet, right? So we see all these Detroit police officers, and I'm like, damn, I guess somebody can, you know, knock over a bank today. You know, that's all the police is done. The police was everywhere down there. So I walked up, and one of them stopped me and my friend was like, hey, where you going? I was like, well, it was this young girl named what was her name? Ursula. I'm just gonna give her a name. I was like, Ursula said she was holding some tickets for the gala for me, and I'm coming pick up my tickets to the gala. He was like, okay. He looked at this other cop, and he's like, I'm gonna take her up. So we get to the elevator, and we go all the way up to the, you know, to Barton's office. And I remember it was a whole bunch of traffic coming back and forth through there. And I was leading all the way up to the doors of the office. Like, if you can imagine getting off the elevators, and it's like this hallway. And then doors to the office. And I remember just people coming back and forth. And then was it Barton wife, Bella Barton, came out, and she was like, okay, what's your business here? What are you here for? I was like, well, I'm here to pick up her. She's like, okay, let's go. Let's keep it going. So we walk on the inside. I see Sergeant Layton, who is Michael's cousin, who I was frantically trying to get in touch with. And he was like, he's like, hey, Kim. He came and he gave me a big hug. Now, this man, just to give you a reference, he was a very tall man. If you can imagine, like, I wouldn't say tall as Shaquille O'Neal, but he was a tall, big man. So he damn near picks me up off the floor, and he was like, where the picture at? I said, the picture? He said, yeah. He said, didn't you bring the picture? And I was like, well, okay. He's like, oh. He said, your boy's here. I had this grin on my face. I was like, oh my God, I feel horrible. He said, you want to meet? I said, yeah. He's like, go stand over there and don't make a sound, don't move.
So were you like frantic? Were you like, oh my God, like?
I was, you know, to tell you the truth, you know, shocked, but at the same time, I was also sort of kicking myself because I didn't bring the picture.
The picture,
So I
yeah.
felt like, damn, this, like how you feel like you had a missed opportunity.
Right, right.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I felt, but at the same time, I mean, excited, yeah. And
Yeah.
we're standing over there by the reception's desk.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I saw one of the, what they call it, there was a weather girl. They used to work for Channel 2 News here in Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
Fox News. Right? And we were talking a little bit. Her name was Monica Jackson, but no relation. But she was
Wow.
there. We were all standing there. She was talking about how she went to Specs Howard's. I was telling her how my sister, graduated from Specs Howard's and everything. And next thing I know, this man walks up and was like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I was like, I went to stammer, boy. I mean, he's like, "You gotta go. You can't stay here." The next thing I know, Sergeant Laney walking up behind him, and Sergeant Laney was like, "Back off!" And the guy jumped. Hey, Big John. He said, "She's with me." He's
Oh,
like,
yes,
"Leave her
period.
alone. She all right. She with me." So after the man walks away, Sergeant Laney walks up to me and say, "Look," he said, "like I told you, next time they go to throw you out," he said, I may not be able to stop them." He said, "Just that you
Wow.
don't have to stand over to the side." He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Try not to, get in the way or whatnot."
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm standing there. And then next thing I know, I'm looking around, watching people come, watching people go. Then next thing I know, there was like a film crew. So they had the cameras and lighting equipment and all this stuff. And next thing I know, the camera sort of got down onto the ground, like they was like filming upwards. And
Oh,
lights
wow.
went to flash on. So next thing I know, Wayne Nugent, I think his name was, Michael's head of security at the time.
Right.
He always wear the suits and kind of had the wavy hair. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
He walks out, he's scoping the room, and then he walks directly to me. Not to anybody else. He walks directly to me, and he shakes my hand. I'm Wayne Nugent, blah, 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 blah. Then he shakes my friend's hand and everything. And then we had who was it? Don Barton comes out, Don's wife comes out, a couple of other security come out, and then Michael comes out, and Sergeant Laney was right beside him. So Michael, I remember thinking to myself, wow, he's shorter than I thought he would be. I'm thinking he's gonna be this tall, like lanky person. I'm not saying he's short, but I just thought he would be a lot taller than what he was. However, standing next to Sergeant Laney, anybody would look like a dwarf compared next to him, But I just remember thinking, damn, he's a lot shorter than. And then on top of that, he was kind of, I would say he had very long arms. He was kind of like, I wouldn't say wayfish looking. He was just small. He was a thin built person. And I remember Sergeant Laney leaned over to Michael in his ear and said, "That's the young lady I was telling you about." And Michael's like, "Is that her right there?" And his voice was like, "Is that her right there?" Like it was not no high pitched Mickey Mouse voice. He leaned over, it's like, "That's the young lady I was telling you about." He said, "Oh, it's her right there." Then he walks over. And at this point, I just remember, you know how you just like it's like a haze, like a dream state. And he walks up, and I immediately, my mother always told me, when you meet somebody new, you extend them a handshake and introduce yourself, whatever.
Right.
First thing I thought to do was reach out to shake his hand, and he reaches out. He takes my hand. You know how a man takes a lady's hand, instead of shaking it, he pulls it towards him, almost as if to, like, I wouldn't say kiss my hand, but just pull me in towards him. I was like, hello, Michael, it's a pleasure to meet you. And he was like, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. And I just remember thinking, where the hell is that voice coming from? I'm like looking around like,
who the hell is saying that?
Who's saying this? I'm like, it's a ventriloquist in here. You know, I'm expecting this light, high-pitched, soft voice. Now, I'm not saying he's that soft-spoken, but he was deep voice.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like what you see on TV. It's, no. He was like, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. He pulls me in and gave me a kiss right here.
Oh, Lord. Wait a minute.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, I ain't gonna complain at all. He gave me a kiss right there.
You didn't have a heart. How are you alive? I would have died. Like,
huh?
I would have had a heart attack.
Look,
how are you even here?
I'm glad that I did not react that way, because you know what?
Right.
From what I understood from his people, is that when people go to screaming and carrying on like that, then he closes up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He shuts down.
Mm.
I'm not saying that he doesn't appreciate his friends or won't give you a little hug or nothing like that, but it gets to a point to where he's like, okay, on to the next. They quickly get him out the way.
Right.
And I'm glad that I did
you
not.
would have probably started like screaming. He would have probably like,
No,
you know,
no,
so
that would not. And then on top of that, his family's standing there. I don't want to embarrass his cousin, you know. So, hell, I don't want to embarrass myself. So I definitely don't want to embarrass his, you know, because obviously they trusted him enough to have me around him, you know. So, so after he gave me a kiss on the lip right there, and like a little slight hug, he turned to my friend and he gives her a bear hug. Then they'll take her off the floor. So
you cheating on me already? Like,
right, exactly. Like in front of me? You gonna do this in front?
Really? Like I thought we had something special.
Like you got that kind of disrespect that you gonna do this in front of me anyway. So we're standing there, and I'm just remember just looking at him from the side, because Michael was standing like beside me. If y'all go to my page and scroll down some, you'll see like I have a picture where we're in the office, in Barton's office, and this is where you can see my back is turned, but you can see me standing, and Sergeant Laney is sort of leaned over talking to Michael. That part right there, I'm standing there and I'm just staring at him. Now that I think about it, I hope the man didn't think this one. Because I'm staring. I was staring at the side of him, and I remember, and I'm the type of person, because I'm an artist, so I study everything. I'm very visual. I remember, you know, he had translucent makeup on, of course. Wow. But I could see where he had like a brown spot around his eye. He had one around his nose. And he had some spots going down his neck. And when he went to shake my hand and his shirt pulled back his sleeve, I remember he had, with, you know how older, elderly Caucasian people get liver spots? Yeah. Where he looked like he had spotting all up his arm. Oh. Like on his hand and up his arm. So I'm just standing there and I'm just looking at him. Wow. I'm looking at this, like, you know, where he could try to cover it up, but you can still see through the makeup. And then we turn around.
Oh wait, we have a few questions. Let's just answer them real quick. Okay. One is from Christopher B. He said, "Did Michael take you on a date?"
I wish. No, sit here and lie. No, sir.
And the second one is from Amalia. She said, "Weird question. Is it true that he smells really good?"
Girl, I smelled that man before he turned the corner. And I mean that with all sincere honesty.
So it's like a good cologne.
Before he even got in the room, you could smell the scent of, it's almost like a vanilla-ish type smell. It's like a vanilla, like, if you ever heard of Joop, J-U, it's a J, yeah, Joop cologne that the men's, it's in a purple bottle. I think it's Joop. Joop. It's called Joop. It smells almost like that.
Right.
And I hear a lot of people say either he's supposed to like that, what is it? Bella Versailles or the Tommy Ford. But I'm telling you, it smelled almost, to me, it smelled almost like Joop. It's like a musky, like vanilla smell. And it was so lingering and so strong. It arrived around the corner before he did. So to answer your question, he smelled phenomenal.
So when he grabbed your hand, was it like some men, they have a strong grip, like when they
he had quite a little grip on him. He wasn't like he was trying to be. Look, I've met some famous people before him. Or just regular people in general. And you got some folks that they pinch your hand. Like, they don't even want to touch you. They like,
right.
Nothing like that.
Right.
When he grabbed for your hand, he grabbed for your hand. He don't, let me take a pinch of your finger, please. No, it's nothing like he grabbed your hand.
And you know what? See, that's why I'm glad you're telling this story, because we got the people out there who think, oh, Michael wasn't interested in women or whatever. And just that one little statement about how he grabbed your hand is like, that's confirmation.
That was something completely, alien, because I did not pick that up from him at all.
Right.
I was a bit surprised how would I say, how forward he was.
Wow, yeah.
If that's the right word to use for it. He was very, I wouldn't say aggressive, but you know what I'm saying? Just, he was assertive, sort of like scared. And nothing like that. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't a shy person, because you pick up the shyness. But I think you also set the tone for how he will treat you. And that's that I'm glad I did not freak out, because from what his cousin told me was that when people go to freaking out or acting, just, fanning out basically, then he gets to the point where it's like, okay, there's another fan, all right. He treats you like a fan. Not saying you don't love his fans, but you get treated like a fan.
Right, if you act.
But when you hold your composure, when you talk to him like a regular person, when you kick it with him or whatnot, then he kick it with you. Then he becomes, okay, I can be myself, and I can talk to you like I'm talking to just, somebody that, is not treating me like I'm, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out, so he was a lot more, how would I say, he was a lot more looser, a lot more relaxed.
Right, because he probably felt your energy too. Some people just have a good energy. So he probably felt that, like, oh, yeah, she's cool,
Yeah, and I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad. And then on top of that, shit, when you wake up from passing out, you done missed it. So I'm glad that, that didn't happen.
We got one more question from Cherie Love MJ 2021.
I'm taking this
she
off.
Said, oh, yeah, girl. She said, did you ever get Michael's phone number?
Wow, yeah, I wish. So, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Michael's cousin, the day that I went to the African American Museum, when he had that dinner gala to benefit their campaign for their bid for the casino. That's when my friend got the portrait to Michael, portrait of Michael in 4 phases. Unfortunately, I wanted to go up there to present it to him with Sergeant Laney, but he was like his security. They were on something different that day. I believe
wow.
it wasn't just his security. I honestly believe it was Don Barton's security because they were on 10.
Right.
They were
And what year
they
was
were
that?
this, huh?
What year was this? Wow,
It's
when
the
he got
same,
to
98.
98. Mm-hmm.
So it was like, his they were acting like some goons, his security. A lot of
Wow.
people were complaining. Not Michael's security, Don Barton's
Don
security.
Barton.
They were acting like, how you got these people that power kind of go to their head and stuff.
Right.
That's a whole nother show. But
Wow.
I couldn't take it. I couldn't go with him to present the picture to him. But he said Michael did get the picture when we was at the gala. This is a different time. This is not the first time now. This is the second time I saw Michael. And we were at the gala, and I'm trying to position this. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
One moment. Okay, we were at the gala, and I remember it was all this delicious food everywhere, the adorbs, champagne they had going on. So, girl, I drank the champagne. I don't know what it was. It was a sweet, bubbly, almost like a, what they call that white wine, white champagne.
Moscato.
It's like a Moscato almost. Girl, that shit got me so buzzed. I was like, oh my God. I had to step away from that. I was like, Lord, I put that glass down. I said, okay, straighten up and fly right. I remember saying to myself, straighten up and fly. Let me meet this man, and I'm drunk. So anyway, they came down on this podium. It's like this big like area inside there. If you ever been to the Motown Museum here in Detroit, it's like they got this big, like, rotund space that they had. But they had like a little, it looked like some big giant podium where they can go up there and talk and everything. And they were again campaigning for proposal 1, which was to, give them the opportunity to get the casino. And I remember my sister, who looks a lot like me, was standing there. So Sergeant Laney is leaning over, talking to Michael and pointing. Michael thought my sister was me, and he was waving, blowing her kisses and stuff. And Tracy was like, he think you me. He think you me, So Sergeant Laney was like, no, her right there. And Michael went, like he was laughing. He was like, kissing, blowing kisses and waving. So I did like this. I went back to him, and I would remember back in the day, back in that time, it was raised the roof. I was and he did it back like this.
Oh my God.
So after that, they went from the Motown Museum to Detroit Children's Hospital. So they went to pass out toys and visit the children and everything. But after that, my friend, to answer that person's question, Sergeant Laney called me and said, give me your number, because Michael said he wants to talk to you. I did. That shit never happened.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know if Sergeant Laney I do think later on in years, Sergeant Laney started exhibiting signs of dementia or forgetfulness. I don't know if it was then. Girl, no, look.
Oh man.
To this day, no closure. Wherever Michael is in this plane, this world, whatever.
Really?
No closure.
Oh man. That sucks.
I liked it. He said he liked the picture, but I'm just saying that.
So he has your picture.
Post.
He had your picture and your number.
two other ones that the Sergeant Lady delivered to him.
It's Sergeant Lady. Where he at now? Is he still? He passed away
back in 2018 or 19.
Oh, he passed away in 2018 or 19.
Yeah, about 2018, 2019. I called myself coming to visit him one day, went over to his house. A lady answered the door, and I'm thinking, oh, did he move? And then, but I saw his truck was still in the, he had like one of, those mail trucks look like this like van. And it was like, I said, I'm looking for Mr. John Laney, and it was like, he passed away, honey. I was like, and it all made sense because I was trying to call him and he would never answer the phone, and I'm like, something that ain't right. Normally he would answer his phone when I called him. So she was like, I said, oh, that's why he would never answer his phone. She was like, well, she said, yeah. She's like, we forgot to she said we had his number still active. She said they haven't had his number shut down yet at the time. So she was like, we're gonna take care of that next. And she said, who are you? I said, well, I'm the artist that did this. She said, you're his artist. And she said, come on in. So
that's nice.
I met his sister, his daughter, who I spoke with, and her daughter. And it was just, man, I just felt like, wow, it's the end of an era,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I would go and talk to Sarge all the time, So
Sarge was supposed to pass on that number. I wonder if he did it. Maybe, Michael just got busy and he just didn't get to it.
Yeah, well, hey, maybe. I don't know.
Aww.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder how that story would have played out. Never know. He could have been Mr. Jackson. Yeah. I mean, he was blowing kisses at you, so you never know. Never know.
We'll never know. Right. That's the whole point. You never know.
Because, it takes that one thing in life to kind of change everything, Like, who knows? Who knows?
Oh, I forgot the third time I met him. And my niece actually ended up meeting him, too. She was 6 years old at the time. My niece is 20 now. She's about to damn near be 30. I think she's 28 or something.
Wow.
She'll be 29, so. But she was 6 years old at the time. Right. And I remember we went down there. My sister got her. She had her all cute. Had her hair freshly braided. Has like bluish gray eyes. They're gray when she just, sick or upset. They turn sapphire blue. So we're down there. They had hot dogs. It was almost like a little carnival type set.
Yeah.
Carnival, but like, how they do like a little, like you go down to like a little expo sort of thing. And this was right before Michael, Don Barton, right before both of them took the podium to again for everybody to vote for proposal 1. So after they left the stage, the pandemonium of getting them in the inside of the building, my niece got trampled. Okay. She's screaming and crying. Wayne picks up Sade and was like, who baby is this? And she was my sister, not her mother, but my other sister. Was like, she my baby. And they just trampling. They not even thinking about what they're doing. And he was like, well, that's all right, because we're going to see. So they let, you know how they have like a human chain, right? They lift their arm at her under, but then stopped it at me. And I'm like, but I would have, yeah. Sergeant Lane was like, let her through. She went down.
Yeah, so, Sergeant Lady.
Let me through. Then when we went to the door of the building, this big old guy came down, getting all in my face. Sergeant Laney's like, if you don't move your ass off the way. And so they let me up there. And I remember seeing Jeffrey Feiger. And do anybody remember Jeffrey Feiger? He was one of the attorneys, the Turkin heads, that was during Michael's trial. He was also famous for, if anybody remember Dr. Death, Dr. Jack Kevorkian, the guy that was helping people assist their suicides. Or if you remember Jenny Jones, remember that guy that went on her show and killed the other guy? And they successfully sued Jenny Jones in the show for that. Well, Jeffrey attorney that was part of that case. Well, Jeffrey Feiger was running for the governor of Michigan at that time. So, of course, he come in there to shake hands. Oh, yeah, see you at the polls, blah, blah, blah. So I remember we were going through the hallway, and it was a couple of people ahead of us. But Bella Barton again came up to us, and she was like, okay, you guys, she said, what happened? And Sade was just shaking and crying. She was still, she's 6 years old. So,
poor baby.
So Bella Barton, she kneels down to her level and was like, I heard you get hurt. And Sade just quietly nodded her head. She's like, oh, how old are you? And she was like, and she said, oh, I got a little 1 year age. She said, you know what? She said, sometimes, she said, when people get very excited, they get so excited that they don't realize they hurt people.
Yeah.
She said, okay? She said, because you'll be next up to see Michael. You're going to see Michael. So,
that's so nice.
making our way to the doorway, right? So, that doorway right there. We get up to the doorway, Michael right against the wall, like literally, like the door frame, and he on the inside on the wall, standing against the wall. So I remember my sister, Tiny, when we get up to the doorway, she had the baby in front of her. I'm standing beside her, and all I could see is Tiny looking like this. Like she's staring at him like he right there. Like, so my niece was just standing there, and she looking googly eyed too. Like, so I was like, let me break the ice. I said, so hey Mike, how you liking Detroit? And he was like, oh, I love it. Detroit, home, I love it. He talked. And the next thing you know, he looks and he said, oh, your hair looks great. Did you use a comb? Me and my friend looked at each other like, I mean, yeah, and he looked at each other. And we sort of looked at each other like, what? And he was, oh, comb. And then he gestured, do you use a comb? I said, oh, no. I said, I don't use a comb on my hair.
Oh, my God, Michael. What are you doing?
I said, I wrap it or I blow dry it. I said, but I don't put that kind of heat in my hair. He went, oh, maybe I should try that sometime. I'm like, hey, may work,
I can't.
So he saw Sade. He looks down and he was like, her eyes blue. And I was like, yeah, they changed, And then he cups her face like this, and he looks at. He said, "Oh my goodness, her face is beautiful. She's so lovely." Oh. To pick her up, but Sade clinged to Tiny. I said, "Mike, we got to forgive her. She ain't gonna go to nobody but her." I said, "I don't care if you can't stop her. She ain't going to." And he started laughing. So. He had a Martin Jackson t-shirt on. And Don Barton's like, hey, Mike, why don't you sign a t-shirt? So Michael was gesturing like, I need a pen. So they took a pen and he signature. So we standing there and I thought, oh, I got my book, I got my artwork. I said, Mike, show you something. And Michael's like, oh, okay. So I whip out you see, you know how you go to those 1 hour photos and they give you like them little booklets to put your snapshot in. I had that, but they were all my artwork. So Michael, looking through it, is one of the first pictures was Diana Ross that I did. So Michael flipped that picture of Diana Ross and he went, oh, I have a picture. And I said, I get it right. I like, go figure.
Go figure.
Like, he said, he was like, did you paint these? And I said, yeah. He said, you're phenomenal. I was like, oh, he could have blew me over with a feather. I was like,
oh my God.
I'm like, I should be saying that about you. He was like,
Right.
I was like, thank you. He was like, these are great. And then there was this one picture that he saw. And he was like, I've seen this picture. And I was like, what do you mean you've seen this picture?
Right.
And let me give you a little backstory. There was a huge, colossal picture that I did of Michael. Huge. It was in the style of when he was crowned king of Sunni in Africa.
Oh, yes.
And I sent it off to Sony because Sony claimed that they were going to give it to him. Sergeant Lane begged me not to send that picture. He said, I'm telling you, it's going to wind up in somebody's office. He's not going to, I would want to wait for Sergeant Laney. So I went ahead. My dad and I, all of us sent the picture off. So sure enough, fast forward to that moment, Michael's like, I've seen this picture before. And I was like, really? Where? At this point, I forgot who Michael was. I was sort of getting a little angry. I'm like, where?
Like, wait a minute, hold up now.
And he was like, I'm not sure. He said, but I've seen this picture. Oh, it's like, damn, he was right.
Right. That's
so,
crazy.
Michael's bodyguards was like, okay, he made an announcement. We getting ready to go. We have, other places we got to go. So he was like, if you haven't gotten a picture with him or gotten an autograph, do it now. So we all in a group, Michael standing over Sade. I'm on one side of Michael, my sister on the other side of him. And we snapped the picture. To this day. We never got that picture to him.
Wow.
My niece got the picture. And I looked up and down for this picture. I even, for people who know me, even on Facebook or Instagram, who remember that time, or even knew somebody that was in Don Barton's entourage. If you remember or know somebody, please, if you can contact them and let them see if there's any way that they can put me in with the photographer that was there that day, because he would be the only one that would have a proof book or the film. So my niece never got her picture. She was promised to meet. She met him, but she was promised a picture and everything, and she never got it. Again, speaking to Don Barton's, security people, don't even get me started. Anyway, we went ahead, took the picture, and then I looked at Michael and I was like, well, no, that's before I asked him for autograph. I said, Mike, can I get an autograph? And he was like, yeah. And he did like this again. So somebody gave him a pen.
Just somebody give me a pen.
Right. So a little piece of paper, those little planners that be in those books. So it was a page from there. He scribbled his name on there. And I said, I guess this is bye for now. And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, wait a minute, I ain't going nowhere without a squeeze. This nigga. Okay. To give him a how you hands behind somebody's neck like that. And he grabs me from behind the waist.
Yeah.
And he, with all the power of the ancestors, squeezed my ass so hard. I was like, look. And he thought that was funny. That cracked him up. I was like,
I bet it did.
Like,
It's too much.
but I remember seeing, like, when I remember looking directly at a window and it had bars.
Right.
So we all left out and he got whisked out to his motorcade. And that was that. The last time I saw him was at the results night for the campaign at the Rooster Tail. And like at first, did nobody know where Michael was, but kind of find out if anybody from Detroit and you know about the Rooster Tail, you know that the Rooster Tail has a adjacent building that's right outside the venue, which is like their VIP area. So I'm going ahead and take a shot in the dark and say that that's probably where he was.
Oh,
but
wow.
Everybody dancing, everybody was having a good time, on the floor. Again, my sister that went to the gala with me, she accompanied me again at the results night. So, everybody doing, you do the hustle, and girl, they had prime rib. They had everything you can think of. It was a gluttonous paradise. Oh, everything you can think of.
Right.
So after that, Michael and Don Barton made their way to the stage, and of course they didn't. They lost by a hair. By a hair, they lost. So yeah, so that was, I felt kind of bad because we would have had a casino plus amusement park.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Wow.
That's man. But anyway, so
I'm sorry. I just want to back up. So when he squeezed you, you ain't feel like you was gonna have a heart attack. It's just, I don't know, maybe die because I would have
he squeezed the hell out of me.
But like, did you feel like he did that to be funny, or like was that his way of flirting? But he's bad at flirting, so
he laughed at me. He laughed behind that.
Maybe he expected you to do more. Like maybe he expected you to be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe he expected you to do something like that. Because these other girls.
See, that's
like that video where he said to that girl, "I give you more than a hug." She didn't hear him, but he actually did give you more than a hug.
I did hear shit because, see, that goes to show you if my mind was running that way,
right?
My running that way.
Yeah, you was nice, innocent woman, not like me.
Well, I was a very good girl. Very good girl.
You was a good girl. Because I'm sorry, if that was me, if he squeezed me like that, I would have like, so what hotel you staying at? It's the Hilton. It's over there, like.
Yes. I believe on yesteryear, and I'm like. And then when I spoke to Michael, Michael's cousin. Talking, and I was telling him about. We just got on the topic of that. And he said, yeah, my cousin probably wanted to slip you that old sausage. I said, what? I was like,
I'm telling you.
I was like, no, I don't think that. He's like, I know my cousin. I'm telling you, yes, he said, you was a pretty girl.
Seeming like
and
that.
He was probably, he was being cute. I'm like, okay.
I mean, it do seem like that. He giving you hugs and blowing you kisses. I mean, I don't know.
Well, certainly didn't. He didn't
like to me.
Because I'm the type of person I ain't gonna look.
It's freezing.
Look, I'm not gonna. Is it freezing now? How about now?
Yeah,
you hear me?
Good. It's good now.
I'm like, I don't know, because I'm the type of person that. If you gonna act on something, act on it. And he's gay. I don't know.
I know. You're very nice.
I'm not gonna sit up. Yeah, because I'm not gonna go and make that type of hold on. I'm not gonna make that. Can you see me? Hold on.
Yeah, I can see.
I'm not gonna make that type of jump out there like that, and then embarrass myself or not be that. You know, that's the type of. That's how I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to misread nobody's intentions.
Right. Child. See,
so
me. I don't know. I wouldn't.
I miss it. Yeah, I know.
I'm
yeah, missed opportunity
I'm putting myself
again,
in
right?
your shoes. Like I'm in Kim's shoes, and he squeezed me. What do I do? Okay, two things would have happened. One, I would have either froze up. I would have been like I would have froze up. Or two, I would have been like, so what hotel you said you were staying at again? I just want to make sure that's what you were saying. Just in case that's what
right.
Oh, you wasn't saying that? Oh, okay. All right. Well, nice meeting you.
See, that's a
no, that's too forward.
Girl, I would look. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. I'll just
But I don't want us to run out of luck on here because I feel like they're gonna mess with us again. So I do want you to show some of your artwork before we head out. If you have any.
I don't know.
She said, "Come through with the Mike'zilla." Y'all is stupid.
Look now.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have known what to do. I probably would have froze up. No, I'm talking all this hot stuff, but I probably would have froze up for real. I would have been like, left my so child, I'm with you.
Okay.
On that if he squeezed me, I would have. Oh, Natalia.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Yes, her work is great here. Her work is definitely amazing. I want her to show some of that before
we
head out.
I'm trying
after
to
her
keep
sharing
this
amazing stories with us.
Okay, this is one of them.
Oh,
can you see that?
My God, yes. Oh my goodness.
This is my take. This is my take on the Thriller album, but I updated him. I made him how he is now.
That is incredible.
And I even aged the tiger.
Yes, I see that. Oh my God, that is so clever.
Thank you. That's one.
So clever. Wow. Yes.
Oh boy, Michael, where y'all ass? No.
Michael.
Like Jermaine said, Michael, where are you, Michael?
Where are you, Michael? Wherever you are, you need to call Kim.
This is one I did of Janet, and this is her dressed as a Moorish queen.
Yes, look at Janet. Oh my God, you're so good with the faces.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
This one I did for Omar Body. Can you see it?
Oh wow.
Okay, let me touch. I don't want to.
Yeah, come back a little bit. Yeah. Come back. Pull the picture back a little bit. Yeah, like from the camera. Wow, that is so cool. Wait, so it's like a street.
Yeah, it's like a street that's going up into the light.
Wow, that is amazing. Wow.
Thank you. And this one I did for Yvette Nicole Brown.
That looks just like her.
Thank you.
Crazy.
Let's see.
So what is your process when you're doing the face, like when you're sketching people's faces? What is your process like?
Just do the circle. It's a whole. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you would have to see me doing it. This is I did a Janet.
Oh,
let's see. This is an actual acrylic painting I did.
Oh, that is dope. Wow.
Thank you. So I do landscapes too. Let me see.
Natalia Houston, she said, can we purchase your art?
Sure. I'm going to be. I got a fairy collection coming out, and right now I'm trying to perfect it, get it all all ready. So when I do drop the link to y'all heard of Printville, right? That site that you can like make custom stuff on. So my fairy collection will be coming out on Printful. Yeah. So I'll be more than happy to drop that link so everybody can, jump on there and check it out.
Wow. Yes, you guys. So
yep.
You have to go follow her at
Thank you.
Supernova 1 _
Yeah, Art Supernova official. Art Supernova 1 official.
Art Supernova 1 official. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Well, when I post this, I'm gonna tag her in it so that you guys can see. Yeah. So anything else you want to share with us? Because I feel like you have these amazing stories. You have so many amazing stories about Michael, and your art is just so amazing. So I really want you to get that.
Actually, it was one picture that Papa Joe was supposed to get to Michael for me.
Oh,
I don't even know if he gave it to Michael yet or what happened to that picture. I shipped it off to him, had a like a little message to him, everything. And June the 25th happened. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh man, did you meet Papa Joe?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, so you just meet everybody.
I went to his birthday party he invited me out to in Tinsley Park, Illinois.
Oh nice.
Him and Marshall Thomas from the Shy Lights. They have their birthdays on the same day.
Right.
So I got a chance to hang out with a lot of the family, not the famous part of the family, but a lot of the family,
So how was Joe? Because he has that stigma.
Oh Lord, Joe. Oh boy, that's all. The girl that he deserves a show by himself. He's a cool guy. But he could be intimidating.
Yeah.
In a way, I understood. I do understand why Michael used to say he was frightened, or he has a way about himself. And he's very demanding. I did artwork for Joe Jackson. That was not easy. I'm like, damn, I understand where they coming from.
Right.
But Joe was an okay guy. I'm not gonna trash him or nothing like a lot of fans do, because like I told somebody on Facebook when it was, he did that. I said, first of all, I said, yeah, I understand something. I said, we're talking about a man from the old
I was
school.
just thinking that.
I was like, and not only that, you gotta understand where he came from, how he was raised up. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying you gotta understand that he was raising those kids, trying to raise men.
Yeah.
So that they would be in the streets doing God knows what. You know what I'm saying? He was using the tools that was given to him.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I'm not going. He made mega stars out of them. If it wasn't for Joe Jackson, it wouldn't have been a Jackson 5, and it would not have been a Michael. The way we come to know him.
Right.
So I ain't got nothing but respect for him.
Yeah,
I got my ass tore out the frame many times by my daddy too. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I agree with the old school thing, because listen, see, people don't understand when Michael used to talk about everything that happened with his father. I'm like, oh, that never happened to y'all. My grandmother used to
Right.
make me go get the switch off the tree. She used to.
Oh yeah.
That's just
I
how
went
it
and
is.
got the switch off the tree. I went to get the switch off the tree from my mother. I don't know what I did. I guess I was being a handful.
Yeah.
And my mother told me, take your ass outside and give me 3 switches.
Oh yeah.
She didn't ask for one.
Now she
didn't
tough. She
ask for
said 3.
2.
I just got 1 now.
Give me 3 switches. I took my knife. I cut